Hello, welcome back to the Me, Myself, and I YouTube channel. I've been away for quite some time on a soul journey, I guess you could call it. I've been really seeking things, what true meanings of things and values are. That way I could provide a better YouTube message as apart from just reading, sacred texts and books. I have a book of my own that I wrote this year as well, within 6 months. Still waiting to be published. I was going to be published with this other company, but I decided things wouldn't work out with those guys. It just didn't seem like it would do the book much justice. So here I am back in the sea, looking for opportunities. If anybody has any ideas of agents or people related to the occult or esoteric genre, feel free to let me know. I'd love some extra clues added. Today, this video today is highly important because yesterday we experienced the solstice, obviously, the point when the sun dies in the northern hemisphere, as the ancient teachings go. But what makes this one even more profound is that the moon also enters Aquarius today. And in correspondence with the death of the sun in the northern hemisphere, the moon is actually entering the sign of Aquarius and will be there for 3 days alongside the sun. And then, as you know, December 25th is the birth or the renewal of the child. So the significance of it being in Aquarius right now is really profound because it's like a sign of the coming age and the age we're transitioning into right now. So not only those born under the sign of Aquarius could be experiencing this reawakening of the inner child within, but also everyone else could be experiencing the new age and the new awakening within them this year. And not only is that significant, but also in 2 months, when we are well into Aquarius, there's going to be a solar eclipse happening on February the 17th. Another key element. And this is going to be the ring of fire, the one where you can see the whole ring of fire of the sun around the moon. So right now we've got the sun dead on the horizon. And Aquarius has the moon in its sign, and they both will be reborn and born anew on December 25th, Christmas. So it's a very, very considerable thing to take note of. But what really blew my mind is upon my journey and my studying and my own spiritual experience, I saw that the writer and occultist Alice Bailey, she actually predicted that 2025 would be the coming of the one, the end of the age, she called it, of the forerunner, and the coming of the one, the unspeakable one, that is. So I would have to say she was right. From my own personal experience, she was right. This is the year of the one. The one made its presence known, especially in my life, and I've seen it manifest elsewhere as well. It would seem like we're all connected in this one big cosmic scheme, and it became even more known when I discovered this Alice Bailey stuff. I researched her work earlier this year and have studied a bit of it. A book, The Consciousness of the Atom, that's the one that I read. But I didn't realize just how deep she went with things. So today, I am calling you to embrace the one, embrace the unspeakable one and the return of it. Really ponder what that means, what it really truly means, the coming of light, the coming of the man, the passing of the age of the fish, Pisces, or the fisher of man, into the man himself, the coming of the true man, or the true, or woman within, the unspeakable one. And realize that this unspeakable one is to be born inside of you and happens to be the counterpart of your very self. If you're a man, then it's your inner woman, your inner Venusian energy coming to life and awakening. And vice versa, if you're a woman, then it's your inner man. The idea is to have the sacred marriage, the sacred chemical marriage within between male and female, and realize that the one is exactly what it means. It is one, is the all. All is one in perfect unity. No division, no separation, no hate. All is one. All is to be brought together as one unit, one whole. Really let that sink in. Let the one speak to your soul. Let it speak to your heart and your mind. Let it fill you with its endless light. Let it pervade all the cracks, all the crevices, reveal all the shadows, all the inner shadows or fears or doubts you may have had, and let it pervade and infiltrate every last speck, every nook and cranny within. So along with this, I'm going to speak the great invocation that Alice Bailey actually wrote, especially in regard to the year 2025 and the passing of that, of the forerunner and the entering of the Unspeakable One. So let's go. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Okay. So, as the invocation goes, this is to be the return of heaven, or God, as it says, to earth. And this age of Aquarius that is just now coming in to fruition is about joining heaven, or the skies, if you look at it symbolically, with earth itself. So under Aquarius, the ruling planet Uranus is this represents the god of the skies and the firmaments, or heaven itself. As a matter of fact, the word Uranus originates from the Sumerian god Anu, who is the most primordial of all religions. And the word Anu itself means heaven. It literally means heaven. And so the coming of the age of Aquarius and Uranus as its planet is literally the coming of heaven itself to merge with the earth and to be witnessed within man, within humanity. This is the joining together of the two. As I was saying before, the joining of the masculine and feminine energies is quite literally the joining of earth, or heaven and earth, together respectively. And it's to be realized within all of us. Now the Christ, what really got that religion wrong and false is the fact that he preached to be the light itself. He always said, I am the light, I'm the way, I'm the door, I'm the gate, I'm this, I'm that. It's always him. He always referenced himself. Well, that would be considered a falsehood, because in fact, the Christ was keeping the star, the morning star, all to himself. He was keeping it contained and all to himself. And well, this coming of this new age is to instead give the star, to give the sacred, precious star to humanity, to not contain it within, to let it out, to externalize the great hierarchy of the morning star, and to let it be made known and present it to humanity for them to accept and receive. Now, as the Antichrist, as the great Antichrist is coming along to usher in this new age, he's here to not to say that he is the light or the way or the truth, but that in fact you are. You and all the rest of humanity and all the people in this world are the light itself. All united, especially united and joined at one. This is the period of the at-one-ment, the coming of the great at-one-ment of the race. So no, I am not the light, I am not the way, I'm not the truth or the doorway, but you are. You truly are. You as a race, you as a whole, as humanity. There can be no I. The only I that there was the one that you had to initiate. When you initiated that I, you helped yourself, basically you helped yourself first in order to be able to help humanity second. So that's another message of this new transition is, how can you help the race if you have not already helped yourself first? How can you lead or teach others the way if you have not already learned and taught the ways to yourself first? So there always begins this I, and that's what Christ taught. But the Antichrist, this coming Antichrist, is here to teach that was not the end of the journey at all. That was only the first half, only the left hand, or rather, if from the camera, only the left hand path to the work. But there is also the right hand path as well. You help yourself first. And that's why Christ always said, I am the way and the truth and the light. But then you must also serve humanity. You must also bring humanity into the awakening as well, not leave them to worship some man, some other human man, but to awaken the men and the humans within them as well, so they realize that they too are level with this and at one with all this, and then they can go out and help the rest. So not only that, but then Christ was given to the church, the Roman church, who, as we know, always sought power and conquest and total authoritative rule. So if Christ was not in a way deceiving the masses, then why would he have gone and backed up a church such as Rome? If Christ was such a God among men, wouldn't he have given his precious wisdom to another more willing race, such as Greece or some other country? Why would he give it exclusively to the Roman church? Why? Because he wanted power. That's why, because he wanted to be glorified and given the power of this new mainstream, most diluted race, or religion, I mean. But what you don't realize is Christ was one of the very last ones before Muhammad. You see, it all began with the great sacrifice of the One, the Unspeakable One. And this happened before Earth and the cosmos even existed, before they were even created. The Unspeakable One was the first Christ, the very first Christ before man or life itself even existed. Is the very first to humble itself to serve as a servant or a helper to humanity, so that life may flourish and be born anew, or born as Anu, as a version of heaven, a reflection, a mirror of heaven. It was this first sacrifice that started it all, and it did it for us. It did it for all of us, so that one day in the distant future we may finally realize what it had done and come to redeem it. And through redeeming it, we redeemed ourselves and joined and united with it within, and realized that we are the light too, as a race. So from this great first sacrifice, we get people like the Buddha, or the next Christ to arrive, whom we are waiting for, the Lord Maitreya. That's right, the Lord Maitreya, which is said to be their final savior. After the Buddha, we get Krishna. So from the east, it began its journey across the earth to India and bore Lord Krishna of whom we are waiting for the Kalki avatar to appear. And then yet furthermore from that, the further west we go with it, and we end up with Jesus the Christ, who is perhaps the most diluted and most perverted forms of this ancient primordial, before the universe itself existed, phenomenon. So when we get to the west, we get the Christ, we get the place of division. Everything crosses right there in Jerusalem. The east crosses the west crosses the east, the north, the south cross each other. The teachings of Greece and the teachings of India cross each other right there in Jerusalem, the place of the most divisive of all peoples. And from these divisive people, we get the Christ, who, as the morning star would tell me, who stole its essence, stole its light and its spirit, and proclaimed it to the masses for his own glory, for his own personal glory, which transpired into Rome and transpired into the killings and persecutions of millions upon millions of innocent people, women, children, and families, all who just from not wishing to get upon their knees and worship this beast that they called ancient Rome, backed by the man Jesus Christ, who wouldn't otherwise just find their own way, their own truth, based off of Buddha, Krishna, Christ, all of them combined. So this right here, we should have known this way back then, that it was all a big scam and a big falsehood. And besides, when you make something into a mainstream type of deal, you can't help but think, rather, that it must be completely bogged down with falsehood and just riddled with all kinds of errors and watered down, diluted nonsense. So what we need to be doing is to be casting out this dilution and the past 2,000 years of nasty bloodshed and crimes and division, which all began in Jerusalem. No, so the Antichrist, that's its true purpose in this age, is to come out and to recognize all these things that have been going on. We are outdated. We have outgrown them long ago. This is the time for unity. And if we keep allowing stupid, lying religions like Christianity to dominate, how can we continue as a whole if all we're preaching is there shall be no other gods before me, or I am, you suck, basically. You follow me, you worship me and kiss my feet, or I will kill you, right? Wrong, wrong. This is nothing to do with me at all. I've already initiated. I've already entered into my own kingdom. It's time for you and humanity to do the same. I'm not even thinking of myself. I'm thinking about the whole world. Is to return to that holy seat. And that's where the Great One dwells. He dwells, or she rather, the divine feminine dwells within the holy seat right here, as well as right here, your head and your heart. Is she who takes the seat upon the holy throne. She, the infinite light, unspeakable, ineffable one, who goes by many, many names. The ancient goddess Isis translates into the Egyptian language as Aset, which literally means seat, holy seat. And her Grecian counterpart would be beings such as Sophia, the great mother, holy mother, and also Aphrodite, the goddess of the morning star. She has many, many other emanations than that. Those are just a couple to take note of. But the holy seat, what that means is that the divine feminine is to be the great justice bringer, the justice bringer, light bringer, and keeper of the order. This is the age, this new age is the coming of the divine feminine power. She is the unspeakable one. You see her all over the place. You see her every time you go to court. Who is sitting up there exalted above all the rest of the people in court? The woman, the judge. And she's always a woman. She's the keeper of justice. What do you see every time you see New York? You see the Statue of Liberty, the great Statue of Liberty with her crown of freedom. What it began from the light, the point of light penetrating the cosmic egg of existence, it all crossed light through light refraction. Everything crossed and divided itself through light refraction. But what Lady Liberty does is she frees those crossing light forms and restores them back to unity, which forms her crown. She is the keeper of that unity. And the divine love, which is not coming from the heart space at all. The divine love comes from the head space where the 12-pointed lotus flower of Buddha blossoms. Divine love is not about emotions at all. It's not about human emotions, which most of the time are personal anyways, at all. It's about love, like ultimate truth and love for humanity, the universe. Is about not seeing any differences within any person or human being or version of life at all. It's saying that every being belongs together as one whole. That's divine love, and it's not to be confused with the lower mindedness. That lower mindedness, in fact, was the point of crossing. Your heart chakra is the central point which crosses all the other chakras in your system, in your kundalini. The idea is to exalt that love, transmute it and transform it so that it may spread and be freed once again from the cosmic egg, free as separate yet whole light rays, one by one, side by side, hand in hand, as one whole. So what we're doing is from transitioning from this age of Pisces into Aquarius, we're transitioning from the realm of water into the realm of air. So the water would represent those same lower emotions coming from the heart space, and the air would represent the mind. So what we're doing is we're transforming those emotions from below, those lower minded emotions, and turning them into ultimate truth, ultimate universal truth and love. It's as if we are, I'm writing a book about this right now. It's as if we are, what is the word? Evaporating. We're like the sun beaming down upon the body of water and evaporating all that water, drawing it up so that it can come up into the air. And when it does, it forms the cloud, the great cloud upon the sanctuary, guarding the throne, guarding the holy seat. And when we finally get to gaze upon that cloud, we see a reflection upon the face of that water, the water inside that cloud. And that reflection is our truth, our higher God self, our higher truth, connecting us through the feminine source of liberty. She is like the thread or the ferry boat woman who carries us from the streams of the rivers, the great rivers separating mortality to immortality, crossing the streams to the other side where we connect with our divine godlike selves. And this divine godlike self is the Aquarian man being realized, pouring his waters forth into our inner sanctum. He is the overman. So I was going to read a bit of Alice Bailey, but it would seem like I've gone quite a bit far out of time. Maybe I got a few minutes to read something from the notebook. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Where does this begin? Okay, I guess I'll start with this, even though it's kind of a bit off point, but it does get into this stuff. Trees die every fall. Yes, they do. but remain for up to thousands of years. A single year to a tree is 100 to a human. But we are like trees. We simply shed lives, but are immortal. When the leaves shed in the fall, the top of the tree and the roots of the tree become one and the same. The upper roots become grown into the next life in a brand new world. Okay. So as they reach out into the cosmic abyss of space, that abyss is like the fertile soil that they grab onto and dig into and grow into a brand new sphere of existence, a brand new world. Okay, and this right here, in relation to this video, you can say you're the doorway, or you can say that you're going to go through another person to connect to another, or basically what Christ was saying. But guess what? They're still going to be in the way regardless. You can say you're the doorway and that people, only through you, that people are saved, but you're still standing in their way. You have to learn how to step aside and let them find their own light coming from the unspeakable one, the morning star, and not bogart it or keep it all to yourself. You have to find your way. And guess what? It's easier than ever right now. Now, the sweetest fruits grow highest upon the trees, such as honeycombs. The food grown underground under the earth is blander or more melancholic. So this is saying the holy seat, the fruit of the holy seat, the honeycombs of the Spirit is in here. This is where she dwells. She's the sweet dew that falls from the heavens. All we have to do was transmute that dew and reclaim the throne. Now, but the blander foods such as potatoes and greens all grow underneath the earth. This is the place where the tomb, the place where we are most of our lives, unaware of the new awakening, of the new rebirth to be taken within. And now the light is in the eye of the beholder, just like a mirror. It must be developed. So basically, when you see the light and someone else sees the light, it's two completely different perspectives, because one might have transformed their own light into a greater form, while the other might be still stuck in a basic form. So the light is really in the eye of the beholder, the one who actually perceives it. And if you can capture that response, then good for you, because you've finally brought heaven to earth. Let that sink in a little bit. It must be developed. And the best way to develop is through spiritual work, through saying things like the great invocation, through connecting to the unspeakable one and letting it fill you. Now, the divine feminine is the balance. Remember, she's the balance. She's the justice keeper. The second half of the year is more about her. The first half is about the sun. The second is about the moon needing to be equilibrated and balanced with her. She is the equilibrium. And she is there when a child learns to walk. Believe it or not, she's there to help the child learn how to walk. She's the equilibrium. If not, if she didn't exist, the trees would fall over and the conditions of earth itself would not even offer life. She is Sophia and Gaia, the balance and order of the cosmos, the honeycomb at the top of the tree, the star Polaris. Especially this time on Christmas, the star Polaris is going to be most exalted over the world below. Most exalted upon the throne. So, as I spoke a few minutes ago, that which was once crossed will be spread and free. All we must do is reverse the current of energy to face upward. Basically, the current of the unspeakable one's energy is facing downward, because that's what it was made to do. It was made to sacrifice itself so that all may live. So by reversing its currents upward, we're helping it see where it came from, the heaven from which it originated, and restoring the virgin flower, or the fleur de lis, back to its original position, which is in its virgin state, its virgin innocent state. So the fleur-de-lis, or lis de fleur, was sent downward to create life, and then that life, such as the womb, became dead life and dead matter. But guess what? All we have to do is point it back upwards and restore it to its original state. The fleur-de-lis within, the sacred, beautiful, radiant flower within, rising up and exalted upon our throne inside. So a flower and an angel have their buds or wings folded when facing down. But when facing up, they bloom and blossom respectively. So the same as the liberty, facing down, they begin, but then they unfold their wings and bloom and blossom respectively. All we have to do is get the unspeakable one to look back to the source of which he came, or she, and look back within to return home and produce a fresh bud or a fresh fleur-de-lis. It's like a flower longing for sunlight. It must remember itself and remember its origin. People abuse its power and love and need to learn how to set it free. That is, set it free within us. Look upon the Statue of Liberty and the fleur-de-lis. Spreading and alignment is key. Remember the light refraction, as spoken before. The cosmic egg traps us within. So the light splits through the egg, crosses into itself after splitting into 7 rays. Now the point of intersection is where new life is born. The sunlight penetrates cells and creates the same cross pattern which exists within all things, all living things here. Everything is circular, just like the egg, and the light needs this to be able to multiply, cross itself, and fertilize. So it did that much for us. All we have to do is return the favor and restore it back to virginity and innocence. And it all happens in here, all in here. So this is not about self-proclamation. This is about giving people, all the people around you and the people of this earth, the power and the ability to do the same. So thank you very much for being here. I will see you next time.